And we are live for the 46th episode of the Bronx Bomber Battle podcast. I'm your host, Matt Luz Luigi, and tonight I'm with Alex
Hello.
and I'm with Andrew.
How's it going, man?
It's going good, going good. I mean, it's going really damn good actually because the Yankees. It's another sweep, right? This team just keeps winning series. Of course, it was against the lowly Toronto Blue Jays, but man, three exciting games, right? Had a nice comeback victory today. They broke the consecutive games with the home run record, right, and then added on to it today. Uh, Man, it was a good week. It's a little bit weird. The Yankees aren't going to be on Thursday or Friday because of their trip across the pond, but nevertheless, they're in first place, comfortably up on the Rays and Red Sox. We're going to get into all of that, talk about how much of a machine DJ LeMahieu is, talk about some sadder notes such as the Giancarlo Stanton news, him going back to the IL. It's never easy with this team, but hey, really can't complain when they're in first place, on pace to win around like 104 games. Feels good, feels good. But guys, how we doing tonight?
Oh, doing great. Like this game today, we were saying beforehand, they went down 5-0 in the second inning and was not really that worried at all. Like it's just at the point where the offense of this team is so great. All they do is just have clutch hits. They come through in every big situation, and you just have faith in them to produce and come through every single time, which is something that we really have not seen a lot in the last few years. Like last year, it was pretty much homer or bust. This year, it's so much different, and it's really fun to watch.
I think today's game perfectly encapsulated what the entire season's been, right? I mean, you don't find out till after the game that Stanton is going back to the injured list, but we kind of knew something was wrong because they didn't make any announcement before the game, so he was getting further tests. But, he went down early, and you have guys top to bottom producing. Glaber with the big hit to win it. Of course, DJ in the middle of it with the game-tying home run. Bullpen a little shaky. It's kind of, all that for what we've expected from the team all year. Like, in the face of adversity, we stumble a little bit, but at the end of the day, they still came away with the win.
Yeah, definitely a fun series. Like all three games were pretty close, fun series to watch. But guys, I just wanted to, before we get into any of the recapping any of the games, before we get into anything, can we just talk about DJ LeMahieu for a second? I just want to, like, this guy is incredible. Like, this guy is unbelievable. He's leading the American League in batting average right now. If he's not the starting second baseman in the All-Star game, I don't know what to do. Like, it's Tommy LaHoo, like Tommy La Stella can't even hold this guy's jockstrap. DJ LeMahieu is like one of the best hitters in all of baseball right now. It just starts like today on Wednesday's game. Starts there. It's like what was it? An 11 pitch at bat, just fouling pitches off, gets the base.
Like again, gets a single up the middle.
Like, this dude he's the definition of like a good. You hear all like the definitions for like white athletes in sports, like hard worker but like DJ LeMahieu is legitimately that guy. He's like the ideal baseball player. Like every coach would love to have a guy like DJ LeMahieu. I mean, he was at one point. The Yankees PR tweeted out he was 13 for his last 18 with like a few homers, extra base. It's ridiculous to be doing this at the MLB level. I'm just amazed by him every day. And I'll admit, I wasn't all that excited when we got him, like a lot of Yankees fans were. I said, I wasn't mad, but I was like, all right, he could be a good utility guy. Like he'll be a good filling guy in case anyone gets hurt, which, spoiler alert, people got hurt. But he's just, like we said, he's been the team MVP. He's played first, he's played second, he's played third. The guy's incredible. I mean, he could probably pitch for all we know.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about where this team would be without DJ right now. Like everything that he brings to the table is just so valuable because we talk about it every week now, but he's the most consistent player on this team right now.
Yeah, there's really not much else for me to add on that you guys haven't already covered. He's been a breath of fresh air in a lineup that's stacked with a lot of home run or strikeout or walk guys. The three true outcomes. He's up there leading the league in batting average. By far the most clutch hitter with runners in scoring position. I believe he still leads the American League in that category as well. I mean, the guy is phenomenal. He's been to think that he was kind of an afterthought when we signed him. We knew Didi was going to be out for a while, but we had Tulo to replace him. That lasted
For a week.
all of 4 games. Yeah. I mean, they're giving the guy $12 million this year and next year, and he is well outperformed that contract thus far.
And you see the I think it was The Athletic. Someone had a piece about, he was about to go to Tampa. Like, he was very close to signing with the Rays. There, he was going to be their everyday second baseman, similar contract. And, the Yankees upped their offer a bit, and he wanted to play in New York. And he knew that going into it, he didn't really have a spot, right? Like, that team fully healthy. He was looking at it and saying, all right, I'm going to have to work for my spot. And obviously he didn't know half the team would be on the IL by the end of April, but that's what happened. And look, sometimes the best ability is availability, right? And he's been healthy in there all season. One of the few guys that has. So, yeah, man, DJ, he's awesome. But yeah, let's get into this Blue Jays series recap, right? The first game, we had CeCe on the hill, and man, I said this a few episodes ago, but like CeCe, almost so many of his starts, he'll just start off and looking right, give up a couple early runs. He's looking really bad. It's looking like just a wash. And then he'll just settle in. He'll just settle in and pitch well and put his team in a good position to win. And that's what happened Monday night, man. He gives up 2 runs in the first inning, but then just goes on cruise control. Doesn't give up another run. Goes 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs. Yankees offense just explodes. Hicks puts one out. Voit gets an RBI double in the 6th. Stanton hit one that I thought was 500 feet. I guess StatCast says it was only 445. Looked a lot further. I know I said that on a lot of home runs, but my God, that ball was a bomb.
That one, it went over center field. It was like in the stands back there.
Yeah,
it was.
It says 445, and like
it's stuff like that makmakes you think.
It's
sometimes a little bit off.
It's like if the fence is 400, that's not 40 feet behind the. That's much further.
But then the one that Gary hit that was up into the bleachers was 481. That it looked kind of similar in like location. Like a distance traveled there.
I feel like even in Colorado, there'll be some that like, oh, this one went 499. I'm like, but yeah. So despite Munson Twitter saying that Stanton's home run was a garbage time home run at the time, it turned out to be pretty damn important because that put the Yankees up 10-2. And then, how do I say this?
Jonathan Holder's bad.
Aaron Boone.
He sucks.
Aaron Boone puts Jonathan Holder right, in a 10-2 game in the 7th, right? It's a good spot to get a guy some work, even if he gives up a couple runs, whatever.
And we were all saying that's a good move. Like Holder was really bad against the Astros. This is a good chance for him to get back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like if you can't use him in that spot, when can you use him?
The only way I'd be mad at Boone there is if you put in like a guy like Ottavino in a 10-2 game. It's an 8-run game. But yeah, so Jonathan Holder comes in and promptly gives up a home run.
Second pitch. His second pitch.
Okay. Solo home run. 10-3 still. Then proceeds to give up not 1, not 2, but 3 base hits to load the bases. Still nobody out. And then Galvis just decides to hit a grand slam. And that would be it for Jonathan Holder. His final line, 0.0 innings pitched, 5 hits and 5 runs, 19 pitches, 15 were strikes. And they were all like 91-mile-per-hour meatballs over the plate. And all of a sudden, it was a game, right? It was a 10-7 game. The Yankees were on the ropes. Green came in, got 2 outs. Ottavino closed that inning with the strikeout. All he does is get strikeouts with guys on base. That's just what he does. And then Chapman comes in for the save, gives up an unearned run. But in the end, the Yankees close it out and win 10-8. But if you didn't, I don't even really need to say this, but Jonathan Holder got DFA'd right after the game. Pretty quick hook on that. It was the most.
He got sent down.
Bro, come on.
Luigi.
He didn't get DFA'd. That's wishful thinking. He got sent down. He got out.
Next episode of the Bronx Farmer Babble podcast is going to be Alex and Andrew teach Luigi about the rules.
There's going to be a new host. Just say no. He got sent down and to his credit, on the exact opposite of Clint Frazier, he actually stood at his locker and took the questions. Right? Imagine that, like a true professional. But yeah, Jonathan Holder turned a blowout into a close game, and
fun stat from Katie Sharp. Holder
this doesn't sound
for the second time in his career gave up 5 hits and 5 runs without getting
what
an
was
out.
the other time, Alex?
It was
can't even think
it was
of it.
last August
Oh.
against the Red Sox.
Trying to think.
And
Nope.
Finish
that-
that stat, Alex. Let him finish.
What?
I said Luigi was going to bulldoze you. I want you to finish the stat. There's more to
Oh, okay. Yeah. That is the only time that a Yankees pitcher in history has had that stat twice in their career, and it's only happened 4 other times in Yankees
it. The history of the franchise.
The history of the franchise, and Holder has done it 2 of the 5 times it's been done.
In a 7-week span.
No, the other time was in last August.
I mean, I guess everyone.
Okay.
Like, it was in that game against the Red Sox, the 4-game series they got just destroyed.
That was the weekend I graduated, and I was kind of happy I was doing something during that game. You know, man. Like I said, I feel bad for Holder, but there was a lot of good to come out of this game, right? Like CeCe. I mean, he's putting together a kind of halfway decent year, right? Especially for
I
him.
think this start was a really good sign for him, just because he had the good one against the Rays, and it was important for him to come back out and actually have a good follow-up start.
Right.
So I think this was really important for him to just grind it out, and you could tell he wasn't at his best, but he still did pretty well.
It was a great moment from that game, though, is that he was really struggling, locating early on, and then he put, was it Galvis? Was it Gurriel? I forget who it was.
I think it was Gurriel.
Base, and he was going to steal, and CeCe couldn't throw with the slide step, and he said afterwards, Gary said, like, just do your normal step, normal pitch, I got you. And canned him, like, within pitches after that.
Yeah.
Like, that totally put CeCe in the zone the rest of the way. Like, that's awesome.
Man, Gary, he made a couple of outstanding throws this week. I mean, I think the pop time on that caught stealing Gurriel was like 1.87, I think.
I thought it was lower. It was like 1.55.
I don't think it was that low. That's actually insane. But he's I think he has the highest velocity in catchers this season. He's unbelievable, man. I know he allowed the pass ball today. Everyone's probably mad about that. I know, but his defense has been really good this year, and man, that arm is just insane, dude. He just guns.
The one thing no one
him
can
and Judge, like, why would you even
is
run
his
on
arm.
either of those guys? Like, my God, they have cannons, both of them.
It's really insane the way both of them throw.
Like, what was that Monday that Judge? Or no, that was over the weekend. Judge had that. He just nailed that guy.
That was on
Saturday.
Yeah.
That was one of the best throws I've seen Judge make, and he's made a lot of really good ones. That one was actually.
And Tanaka needed that too. That was right after he hit the 2-run home run.
Yeah, that was his last out of the game, Tanaka, and he let up a lot of hits that game. But yeah, on to Tuesday's game. So another one. Hey, it was an opener. Bullpen day. The Yankees coming into the game were 6-0 in bullpen days on the year, and man, they improved to 7-0. The Chad Green and Nestor Cortez combo combined for 5 1/3 innings, 2 runs. Man, Nestor Cortez, guy's not that bad, right? Guy's pretty decent.
He's so just fun to watch pitch because he's not a conventional starter. Because he doesn't, he throws low 90s with off speed, but he does everything he possibly can to just throw the hitters off. And it's so fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the main story of this game was, coming into it was, hey, they tied the consecutive game home run record Monday. Now Tuesday, they needed a home run to, break the record, and we didn't have to wait that long because DJ LeMahieu in his first at bat of the game, the bottom of the first inning, goes deep, and right there was the record. The Yankees, just insane to go 28 straight games hitting a home run. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then, just to make sure in case they, I don't know, like called that DJ homer back, I don't know. But Judge just decides to go deep his next at bat, right?
3 pitches later.
3 pitches later, his first home run since he's been back from injury. It was a quick start for the Yanks right away. Glaber, second inning, he hits his solo shot himself. It looked like it was going to be a blowout. Looked like it was going to be another easy Yankee victory, but man, the Blue Jays hung in there, scored a couple runs in the 6th. But Edwin Encarnacion, I'm reading it now. How did this ball how did his home run to right field only go 342 feet? Like that ball is one of the definition of porched right there.
Yeah.
He just
It was right down the line.
if you would have told me that ball is 318 feet, I would have believed you. Like, my
Yeah.
God, he off the bat, like, for a second,
He thought it was foul.
Yeah, foul. He starts running. He's like, oh, wait, I'm in Yankee Stadium. Like, oh, this could be
Yeah.
out. Oh, man. I still always get a kick out of people complaining about that and people getting mad at that. Like, oh, cheapy, like a short porch. It's like, you realize the Yankees pitching staff has to deal with that 81 times a year, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know how many
Dallas's Grand Slam a porcher? Like
yeah,
second row?
like, you know how many Yankee bullpen pitchers have just blown a game by giving up a first deck home run to right field. Like, it's both teams that have to deal with it. It's just the stupidest thing, but hey, welcome to being a Yankee fan, right? Guys, 7-0 in bullpen days, man. That's not what I expect. Like, usually bullpen days are almost like kind of it's almost like your unofficial number 5 starter, right? Like, all right, it's trying to save a starter. We don't have 5 starters we could trust. So we're just going to go to a bullpen day. But man, Chad Green and Nestor, they've been our second best starter this year behind Tanaka. It's incredible.
Well, it's just weird because if you had said back in the Angels series in Anaheim, after Chad Green got sent down after his miserable outing there, that he would come back and just be an opener to Nestor Cortez and just absolutely dominate, I don't think it would have been believable, but it would have been, just like, okay, really? But he's been really good as an opener. It's been crazy.
Yeah, you know what's actually wild, if you think, being you mentioned that game, is that almost mirrored exactly Monday night's game with Jonathan Holder. Not that Holder's going to go down and come back and be a force in a couple of weeks, but it was really the exact same scenario. They had like a 5 or 6 run lead. He gave up a grand slam without getting it out, got yanked, got sent down that night.
I think Green did get it out in his outing, but still,
I don't know
it's
about
crazy.
that.
No, he got one out in like the inning before and then came back out.
I was just about to say he finished an inning and they're like, all right, look, nice.
We'll bring him back out. He looks good. And then he
feeling good about life. Here we go.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy too? I think at that point his ERA was like 16, something like that.
Yeah.
Holder's ERA over his last 7 or 8 appearances is like 21.
Yeah.
Like, that's absurd. How much he struggled.
He has like 5. It was like 5 innings pitched, 13 runs allowed. His last few appearances. That's worse than Green.
Thinking, oh my God.
Jonathan Holder is so bad that he made me kind of accept Luis Sessa, and that was before the debacle this week. So, man, I just can't get over how Holder, doesn't have great velocity on his fastball, and just acts like he does. Like that just boggles my mind. Like, this dude thinks he's throwing like 98 up there. He's throwing 92.
He'll just throw a fastball down the middle after throwing a curveball, thinking, "Yeah, this is gonna blow right by him."
I forget which game it was, but it was like, I think it was like a 2-0 count. He's behind, and he just throws like a 92 mile per hour fastball down the middle that just gets fouled off. And I'm like, man,
what are you doing?
So lucky that didn't get hit out. Like, come on.
What's crazy though about Holder is that I remember I was like a big proponent of his when he was like in AA and got promoted to AAA. There was, I want to say it was the 2016 or 2017 season, and he had something absurd like, I want to say like 60 strikeouts and 35 innings pitched in the minors.
He had an outing where he went 4 innings, I remember. The year
struck
that
out
he
11,
got
right?
Struck out 11, yeah.
Yeah, like
I think that was 2017.
He hasn't really, he may not have, like maybe he's just not working his curveball like he used to. Like that was his go-to pitch, right? And I feel like now when he kind of just, lobs it over, kind of like Chapman throws a 3-0 slider down the middle when he can't locate his fastball. Only Holder does it like in a big
Holder
spot.
Does it basically to get a strike.
Yeah,
he's just got to learn how to pitch like a finesse pitcher.
Yeah,
like he's clearly a guy that probably all through his life he could just rely on being like a power pitcher and kind of like overpowering a lot of guys. And he's at the point where he just can't do that anymore, man. You got to maybe I don't know what he's got to do, man, because just throwing 92 mile per hour fastballs down the middle is not
92
working.
92 mile an hour fastballs and a curveball that's really not overly great.
Pretty flat.
Yeah.
But like I said, credit to Holder. He didn't get DFA'd besides what I told you earlier. That
his dignity got DFA'd.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that was just wishful thinking. But
you got to give him credit though, because his conference after he took credit for everything. When he kept saying that he kept saying he's got to work to get better. Which
I think like the one quote that stood out to me was like, "I've never had a stretch like I've never struggled like this before in my entire career." Like, and maybe that's a wake up call. Like, I mean,
exactly.
That's like you just have to think of it though. That's like pretty much almost all these guys, like who are at the major league, especially these younger guys. They've been the best player in almost every team they've been on, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, you're getting sent down because you're not good enough to be on the team. That's a real wake up call for a lot of guys. A lot of guys don't, you hear a lot of guys will get sent down and then they're just down in AAA for a few years, right? And just kind of never get the career. But it's tough, man.
Another thing I thought was interesting that he said was like he said he's had trouble with his control and stuff basically all year, and he has had trouble just like locating his pitches, which I thought was interesting just because he's had a couple before, obviously this really bad stretch. He had a stretch where he was pretty good. He went like 10 or so appearances and just didn't give up a run. So how exactly did he manage to do that if he didn't think he was locating at all this year?
Yeah. Like I said, definitely has a lot of things to work on in AAA. The third game. Or anything else you want to talk about from that second game?
Stanton hit a monster shot, which we already covered
that was the first game.
It was the first game. Alex high as hell.
That was the first game.
Wow. All of us have had I think we've been recording for like 20 minutes, and all of us have made at least one mistake. So it's okay. We're playing the Red Sox coming
Luigi,
up. So.
don't try and cover for the fact that you made.
Yeah, I mean, look, mistake. We're all human, right, guys? We're all human. We're all in this together, right? Alex, moving on. Here we go. Also, hey, Edwin Encarnacion, Andrew, wouldn't it be great if we got him, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing pretty well. It'd be nice to add him.
To clarify, we were talking about potential lineups before, and Alex was just listening, and I said, "Wait a minute, where the hell is Edwin? He did not put Edwin on this list." He's like, "Oh my god." Well, we all have those.
It was not my high point of the day. Let's say that.
Definitely not.
The third not your high point, like weed high.
Oh man! So the Yankees going for the sweep. Paxton's on the hill. It's a beautiful day out, and starts the game with 2 walks and a dinger. So Blue Jays go up right away, 3-0. Furthermore, they get another homer in the second inning to make it 5.
Let's also just give a little backstory to the dinger. Andrew's stream of the game was behind when he was watching, so I tried to play a little joke on him and said, "Oh no, Gurriel just hit a 3-run home run," just to scare him. And then literally the next pitch, he hit a 3-run home run, and I hated myself.
Your fault, asshole.
It was all my fault.
Because I was watching, I was watching on MLB Network, and I'm looking at the TV and hitting the home run, and then I look at my message, and I realized the message was from a minute ago. And I'm like, wait a minute, am I behind? What's going on here? But yeah, that was. Not the best start for Big Nathan.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I mean he's really sure. He still doesn't look 100%, but he battled through. The Yankees offense got going in the second. Didi hits a nice homer into the bullpen. Judge hits a 2-run single, and in the fourth inning, who else? DJ LeMahieu 2-run shot, tie game, and I haven't been getting on Boone a whole lot this year. I think he's been doing a pretty good job, definitely better than he was last year. But I really just didn't get it's a 5. The Yankees just tied up. It's a 5-5 game, and he just brings Paxton out for the 5th. I get you're trying to get as many innings you can from him, but he had 80 pitches, and Gurriel, who had already taken him deep in the first inning, takes him deep again. Right, Blue Jays take the lead, but the Yankees waste no time getting the lead back. Right, they sack fly by Hicks, scores Encarnacion. And by the way, how about the aggressive base running today from Edwin and Luke Voit? They both stretched a double, and I did not think I thought they were both just long base hits, but both had, doubles where there were close plays at second. Then Luke loves tagging up. He just taking bases there. And Edwin, him taking that base, that's why he scored on the sac fly, right? That turned out to be pretty important. So. Some big hustle plays from the big guys today. I'd love to see it. Voit got the go-ahead RBI in the 6th. Looked like it was going to be the winning RBI there in the 6th inning, but it wasn't that easy. The bullpen did good up until the 9th inning when Britton came in because Chapman had the day off. He had thrown 25 pitches each of the last 2 games, so he was obviously getting the day off. And Britton allows a hit, pass ball happens, another hit right away. It's a tie game, blown save. And things got really sketchy when Glaber makes an error and all of a sudden it's first and second, nobody out. And goddamn, man, credit to Britton. Like I said, he didn't just get one ground ball, or he didn't get one double play ball when he needed to, right? Because they probably should have had it, and Glaber just makes the error on the throw. But right away, first and second, nobody out. He gets another one, right? Just after 2 outs, and gets the third out of the inning, gets the Yankees out of it, and guess who gets the walk off? The guy who made the error in the previous inning. It's Glaber Day. Gets the RBI single to the right. Didi scores. Yankees win. They get the sweep. We're going to London. Feels good. First place. Love Glaber. Man, this team's fun. I mean, what a fun game. Like we said, they're down 5-0. There wasn't a worry in my mind. Like, all right, it's 5-0. This team's going to score 5 or 6 runs at least against the Blue Jays, right? Like, they don't have Stroman on the mound. Like, we're good. Like, that's just what this team does. Like, they're just going to score runs. And, man, just like I said, a lot of good base running plays today. A lot of big performances. Tarpley coming in once again. I think this was his second appearance of the series. Working a scoreless inning. Credit to him. Man, I know the Blue Jays aren't I know the Blue Jays are a bad team, but like they have a lot of really good young players. I think like Paul O'Neill was saying this on the broadcast. There's a lot of teams that you'll look at that are bad that really like don't have a plan. You'll kind of just look at it and you're like, wow, this team sucks. Like they're just a bunch of
the Orioles.
Yeah, like they're just a bunch of like kind of older veteran players and like, kind of younger guys who just aren't that good. But the Blue Jays have a lot of guys who you look at and say, man, these guys are going to be studs.
They have a lot of guys that just need a few years to develop, and then they're going to be.
They just don't have pitchers.
They don't have pitching, but offensively, they have a lot of good, really young bats that are going to be scary for years to come. So, yeah, I mean, then like, look, the Blue Jays. I know the Red Sox have been losing to a lot of bad teams, but hey, they were just coming off a series win against the Red Sox, right? So it was good to get the sweep, right? And like I said, 3 close games. And it looked like the first game was just going to be a blowout, but of course it wasn't. Guys, what thoughts on this game? Thoughts on the series? Thoughts on this team?
So my first thought was when you mentioned Paxton coming out for the 5th inning. I really would not have had much of a problem with that if it wasn't against any other. If it was against any other part of the lineup.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I get trying to get as many outs out of him as possible because the Yankees bullpen today really was a little bit short because they didn't have Chapman. They didn't want to use Canely.
Yeah, like they've been using their bullpen a lot. Like,
exactly. So I get wanting to keep Paxton in for as long as possible, but keeping him in against a guy who had hit a 3-run bomb off him in the first inning, that wasn't a great move. So like I understand Boone's like his thinking there, it just wasn't the right time for that.
Like I understand his thinking, it was just wrong.
It was just wrong.
It was dead wrong. Yeah, because look, like I know obviously it's you're traveling a little bit further than usual tonight. The Yankees are, but it's like, look, man, your entire bullpen is off Thursday and Friday.
Yeah,
like you really shouldn't be like. I know they've been they've been taxed recently, and you've been using your bullpen a whole lot, but. Yeah, like Paxton coming like right away, like he gives up that home run. You just say to yourself, like, man, like why?
Why did he come back?
Why? Like he has 82 pitches. He hasn't like, even though he was through 4 innings and he hadn't given up a run the last 2 innings, like he wasn't pitching well all day. He's walking guys. He just didn't have it today. But
yeah,
we can talk a little bit about Paxton. Andrew, you were saying earlier like how like he just kind of looks broken, and I mean to a degree, like it's kind of true. He just really hasn't looked 100% since he's come back off the IL. And
I got to think that something's still wrong with that knee.
Yeah.
I know they said.
He keeps saying nothing's wrong with it, but he's got to be playing through something.
The result.
Didn't the doctor say when he came back that like it won't get worse by playing, but it won't get better? That he may need a procedure at the end of the year, or he may need to take like a month off, which obviously you can't take a month off in the middle of the year without going on the injured list again. And one thing I noticed is that his velocity and his location is down, and it reminds me. And I'm not concerned for his shoulder, right? It reminds me a lot of CeCe every year before he gets his knee procedure. Like when and granted it's a different knee. CeCe's his plant knee, Paxton it's his push-off leg. But like when you don't have the confidence to be able to push off and actually follow through on the pitch. I feel like that's kind of where maybe you lose a hair in the velocity, and he just hasn't seemed himself. Everyone wants to talk about that 12 strikeout game against the Red Sox earlier in the year, but he did have a bunch of good performances strung together through mid-April when he got hurt. He was good. He looked really good. It just he hasn't been able to recapture it, and there's no way it's not injury related.
Yeah, because I remember watching that game when he was pitching against the Red Sox, and I was just blown away by his velocity that night. He was just pumping it in like upper 90.
98 in the eighth.
Yeah, he was just throwing gas out there. I was like, man, it was a Sevy. Like, well, what's this guy pumping 97 consistently out there? But yeah, it's just seeing him at it's kind of sitting at like 93, 94. Just you could live with that as a left-handed starting pitcher, but not when you were 90, sitting at 96 at the beginning of the year. It's before he went on the IL. Just not a great look. Hopefully he figures it out because I do like Paxton. It's great stuff, but yeah, man, it was just another rough start for him today. Really rough.
Grade 2.0? Question mark? Grade 2.0?
Did you guys hear anything? I didn't hear anything.
I heard nothing, honestly.
Yeah,
I think Andrew accidentally muted.
there was that take on Twitter. I saw it.
Those are the worst takes. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, guys, we have like our player of the series, but we already talked about it. It's DJ LeMahieu.
It's 100% DJ.
He went 4 for 4 on Monday, 2 for 4 on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday he went 2 for 4 again. So
no, you're wrong. It's Brett Gardner.
He's look, man.
Somewhere Matt Graziano's fist just clenched.
Andrew, you pulled up a tweet, from the Yankees announced that they had gotten DJ, and man, that's one of those tweets you just got to go back and read the replies on, man, because talk about freezing cold takes. A lot of people were mad. And
a lot of it had to do with the fact that
it wasn't Machado.
Yeah.
As soon as we knew that we signed him, and we weren't going to get Machado, but in hindsight, that's everyone who was mad about that looks so foolish.
Thanks, Captain Hindsight. No, but really, it's so true. A lot of people were like, look, I understood not being super excited for that move, like both of you guys were, which is understandable because he was just, this dude's been a really good baseball player for years and years. I remember my friend who's a big LSU fan loved DJ LeMahieu when he played for them. But yeah, I mean, to be to be angry, when we got DJ, I was just like, all right, calm down. The guy's a good baseball player. He's not going to be like Steven Drew 2.0. But yeah, it's funny, right? It's just funny how those things work. Now the guy's about to be starting for the AL in the All-Star game, right? Well, he better be at least.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think there's a big Tommy LaStella fan club that they all meet up.
You're not looking good. The votes came out this morning, and I think or a couple hours ago, and I think Carlos Santana's leading first base. So the Yankee clan is maybe dropping. So
oh no,
ouch. That's honestly
leading now. Gary's leading.
Yeah, I mean, obviously is DJ leading?
He was at one point.
Well, I mean, DJ, whether he starts tonight, he's going to be on the All-Star team. So,
he's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, he's leading the AL. I mean, I think Rucco said it. Hey, when you're leading the American League in batting average, it's kind of almost hey, you're going to be on the All-Star team, right? Even though batting average isn't as important as it, it's just not that important of a stat. It's still when you're leading the league in batting average, it's pretty important.
Yeah.
Let's talk about G. Let's talk about Giancarlo, not G, our co-host. When he leaves the game, it looks like he gets spiked, right? It's all right. Looks like, oh, okay, he got his hand stepped on. But then all of a sudden, it's and then Boone this morning. The Yankees, they always do this, man. They always announce an injury is not that bad, and it's hey, this guy's dead. Hey, what do you know? It looked like just a scratch, and now he's dead. This was from 8 or 9 hours ago, almost before the game. Boone said Stan's knee is sore and stiff today, but nothing as far as any IL moves or anything like that. Just seeing how the next couple hours unfold and even the next couple days.
And he said he most likely will make the trip to London.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, and then Susan Waldman saying, oh, well, it's not a short injury. He might miss more than a month. It's like, whoa, that's a complete 180 from what Boone was saying. Boone was acting like it was just like, the common cold. It was going to be gone in a day. And like, oh, no, it's a pretty serious injury, actually. You might not see Stanton until August. So.
Yeah. And to Boone's credit, I mean, he's just going off of what the guys tell him. I'm sure he had another procedure done during the game.
He's just a puppet at Boone. Like, don't you know that? He's just a puppet. Like, he's an actual puppet. Like, everything Boone says comes from someone else. Like, you ask him how his day is, he has to check with the analytics team. Like, that's just how it works.
The analytics.
Oh, man. Yeah. I guess we'll just say so. The guy that comes up for Stanton, right, that replaces Stanton, is Tauchman. And, man, a lot of damn people were saying, hey, no Clint. Damn, it was a big slap in the face to Clint. And look, man, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the Yankees really don't need any more offense. Right? Like, obviously, you can never have enough offense. You can never have enough of anything, but they're good offensively. They're good with the bats. And look, Clint Frazier, very good hitter, right? Very good. Awful outfielder. Like him, like the fact that I even have to explain this is just so annoying. But so many people were wondering. So many people were asking, "Oh, where's Clint Frazier? How is Clint Frazier not being called?" It's like because he can't play the outfield. Because when you watch that Sunday night baseball game against the Red Sox, that's why he can't be out there. That's why he didn't get called up. Like, it's just so obvious. The dude can't play outfield at a major league level. And, like, all these casual fans just think, oh, because he's a good hitter, so that means he's automatically, like, should be on the team. Like, no, Tauchman's a more reliable outfielder, and that's all we're going to probably need for the next few weeks. Like, you don't need your fourth outfielder to be, like, a great hitter. You need him to be able to play the outfield. It's so simple, yet so many people just don't understand this at all.
And if their offense just, kind of takes a dip and they need some kind of jolt, then I would imagine they would send Tauchman down and call up Clint just to bring a little, new blood in. But for right now, they don't need Clint's bat. They need Tauchman's defense, which is why he's up.
He can play all three outfield positions.
Yeah, which is huge.
Of course, how often is he going to play? I mean, every once in a while, they're going to bench or DH Judge, still fresh off the injury, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Hicks needs a day off too because he had that shoulder issue last week. So I would say over the next 15 games, maybe Tauchman starts in 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
If that's the role that Clint Frazier's occupying, then it's bad for his development because he needs to be playing every day, getting outfield work in the minors every day, getting regular bats.
No, and Tauchman's ability to play center is huge.
Right.
Because the Yankees have Hicks, they have Gardner, but they really don't want to play Gardner in center that much because of how much he wears down at the end of the season. He really has not been that great.
And he just doesn't have the arm for center field.
Exactly. Tauchman's a much more complete outfielder than Gardner is at this point in Gardner's career. So Gardner in left field, Tauchman in center is much better than, say, Tauchman in left or Clint in left and Gardner at center.
And you know what? I know we go through this with Tyler Wade every spring training and during the year, but I mean, Tauchman, I believe, has been the cleanup hitter for the Rail Riders for the last 2 months, right? So maybe he comes up and he's got a little more in his bat. I mean, I'm not going to say that he's going to be a world beater by any means. I mean, he may return to the 190 hitter that he was, right? But I mean, maybe he has a couple good games, and that's all you need from your fourth outfielder anyway. We know he has some pop.
All we need is Luigi just to say that he's tired of Tauchman being in the lineup.
I was just thinking about that. Man, remember I just ripped him, and then he just has the week of his life.
Game, he hit the first home run of his career.
Oh wow, look at that upper decker.
Wait, you know what? That's full circle. It was against the Red Sox, so you might have to play the clip again tonight before the end of the show.
Well, but Sale's not pitching, so
that's true.
That's true.
He hit the home run off Erasmo Ramirez, though.
Erasmo Ramirez is no longer on the Red Sox.
Right. I know. It wasn't Sale.
To be fair, none of the Red Sox bullpen.
He had a triple off of Sale in that game, though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. Well, what a week for Hoffman. Some other news and notes. Dallon's still not throwing. Obviously, he had that setback a few weeks ago. Domingo has a rehab start Thursday for the for Scranton, and if all goes well, he should be back next week. So
For the Mets series.
Yeah, they said they're targeting Citi Field.
okay, so that's good to see. I wonder how they're going to utilize him when they come back because. I mean, man, bullpen days have been working, right? Maybe they stick him in the bullpen? Question mark. Maybe no more Luis Sessa. I don't know.
I would imagine he starts at least a few games.
Maybe they fake an injury to J.A. Happ.
Or they put
I like
Paxton on the
where you're
DL for his knee.
Man, I'd much rather be Hap than Paxton. I actually have confidence in Paxton. I'm like Hap. Ben Heller, he's in Tampa. So Sevy's close to getting some rehab starts. Obviously Gumby had that setback a couple weeks ago. So Susan Waldman said Stanton's injury may be over a month, but love Susan, but let's just wait and see. Could be a couple weeks, could be a couple years, right? So he may never play baseball again. Who knows?
Yeah, the thing that's scary with him is that it's the PCL, which is like the second biggest ligament in your knee other than the ACL, right? And a strain is just another word for a minor tear. Like,
yeah.
When you tear your ACL, you're out for 8 to 12 months. It's not a tear. And even if you tear your PCL, let's say, it's still an 8-month injury, whatnot.
You tear either of them, you're having major surgery on your knee.
Right, and hopefully it's they could just treat it with like some plasma or whatever they do.
Yeah.
What did like Bartolo Colon had? He had like his own fat injected into his elbow. Like maybe they could do so like. So maybe they could do some weird thing and then rehab and be fine.
Stanton's own fat into his knee.
He doesn't have any fat.
Problems.
He doesn't have any fat.
Inject his muscle into his knee.
Yeah. The I Hate Stanton crowd was out in full force when that news got announced. My God. Like I see Marlins like beat writers taking pictures of his contract. It's like people are so dumb. Like let's just relax here,
Marlins beat writers are saying that like the Marlins didn't sign him to a 13-year contract when he was more injury prone for them.
Yeah, man, that's another story though, right?
That's a story for another day.
Other news and notes. This is pretty cool. With going to London with the Yankees, they'll be bringing Reggie Jackson, Hideki Matsui, Andy Pettit, A-Rod, and Nick Swisher. So some good ambassadors there, right? Love the global aspect with Matsui going there. That's pretty cool. Man, I love Matsui, man. I miss that guy.
How do you know Matsui?
I miss all these guys, my God. Except I was gonna say except Swisher, but no, I like Swisher.
Hopefully, A-Rod can shut the close the windows when he's going to the bathroom in London.
Oh my God. Dude, what my favorite A-Rod in the media story is when it was like his first baseball game and like they zoomed in, like someone took a picture of his notes and like on the notes it just said pull out stuff. And then under it said baby ? And people are like, wait, what's that? Like, what is it? Like A-Rod just such an like who pull out stuff? Like who says that? Oh man, class. Like what I'll get a kick out of A-Rod on his Instagram. He'll be at J-Lo's concerts and he'll just be on the floor and he'll be taking like a video of himself and he's surrounded by like just screaming dancing woman and then he's just there in like a suit just like bopping around. I'm like, man, this is like the most awkward man in this area.
No, that photo him, J-Lo, Kim and Kanye took at the Met Gala was a great one. Oh, yeah. Kanye looked like I want to kill myself. I'd rather be home watching sports.
I would pay so much money to hear like a conversation with A-Rod and Kanye. Like the things A-Rod would say. Kanye would be like, "Whoa, what the hell is this guy talking about?" Oh man, guys, want to wrap up the show previewing the London series? Anything else from this past week? Anything we're forgetting? Should I say more guys got DFA'd that we want to get DFA'd? Maybe.
Kendry Morales did get DFA'd.
Kendry Morales did get DFA'd.
Yeah. That's all we'll be talking about. Kendry Morales. Moving on. I don't think anything else needs to be said about that guy.
We'll always remember his one moonshot that he hit.
I think someone in our group just said he used all his power for that one. That's all I got left, Coach. Nothing left in the tank. Absolutely nothing.
It's like a Dragon Ball Z reference.
Yeah, so the London series, right? 2 games set in London.
Wait, the
playing.
Yankees are going to London?
I think so. I gotta
Is
check.
Baseball's played in London?
Double check that. It's screwed. Neither team has jersey or names on the back of their jerseys, and I assume a lot of those people are going to be like,
They have
What
no
is that?
idea who it is.
like, hey,
Yeah.
where the hell are their names? Oh, there's a bunch
Who's
of.
this big gigantor on the Yankees?
I feel like that's the one.
Number 99.
That's the one guy that I feel like will get recognized like quite a bit over there. But I mean, for the most part, maybe CC a little bit. But I mean, baseball's not all that big in the UK. Like they were saying on the broadcast, how Jeter used to love going to Europe because not a lot of people will recognize him. And if Jeter doesn't get recognized in a lot of Europe, you really can't expect a lot of you, especially the Red Sox. Like I don't think anyone in the Red Sox could be worry free, just like roaming the
Yeah.
there's not going to be anybody noticing them. Oh man. So yeah, in case you haven't heard, the Red Sox still kind of pretty mediocre. Their bullpen's still bad. Their bullpen just blew another game today against the White Sox. They were about to sweep the White Sox. It was looking good for them, and just didn't work out like that for them. So
Matt Barnes decided to Matt Barnes it up.
Matt Barnes is gonna Matt Barnes. That's for damn sure. They're 44-38 right now. Third place in the AL East. I think they're 9 games back now of the
Yeah,
Yankees.
they're 9 back.
10 in the loss column. They're going with Porcello and Rodriguez as their 2 starters. I have no idea why they didn't save Price and Sale for these 2 games.
Especially since Sale started today, so they could have just, done something.
You could have worked around it a little bit.
Yeah, worked around it a little bit, so you at least have Sale there.
Yeah, but don't you think that the point they're at right now, where they kind of need to win as many games as they can? So you figure we got our ace against a weak opponent, let's just get the win. Like they're not setting up matchups, right? Like they're chasing wins right now to make up ground in the division.
They gotta win as many games as they possibly can.
There is I forget which radio station was in Boston, but they have a podcast, and one of the questions they posed was should the Red Sox be buyers or sellers at the trade deadline? And it's a legit. Obviously, a lot of it depends on the next month, but they really are in that situation where they can't afford it to go cold. If they go cold, they're gonna be looking they're gonna be a 500 team in the third week of July.
The only thing they have going for them is that there's not many other good teams in the AL.
Yeah, there's not they're still right there for that second wild card spot. It's between them and the Indians and
the Rays, obviously,
and Texas.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah, so look, it was so obvious with the Red Sox last year, right? Their two of their best hitters, Mookie Betts and JD Martinez, both had career years, and you knew that probably wasn't going to happen again. And both those guys are having solid years, right? Both doing well, but Mookie's only hitting 260. JD Martinez is only on pace for 35 homers. They're just not. They're just not getting that same production they were last year, and I think a lot of us saw this coming last year. We just saw Chris Sale get bombarded today against the White Sox. What's crazy about the Red Sox? I was looking at their stats earlier. Nobody on their team has more than 8 saves. Ryan Brazier leads their team in saves with 7.
They don't have a set closer.
I was
they've been doing it by committee.
I mean, they only have 17 saves as a team, which is
they've blown, I think, 15 of them as a whole.
My God.
Usually when they win, they're blowout wins.
It's a blowout, because their offense is stistill really good, but it's not good enough where that they can bail out their bullpen every single game.
Yeah, because a guy like Devers is having a really good year. Bogart's having a good year. Benintendi, not as much, but guys, who's not having a good year offensively? Jackie Bradley Jr.
Oof.
He's been better of late, but he started off awful.
That's a guy that every time, if you would ask me what's Jackie Bradley Jr.'s career numbers against the Yankees, I'd be like, oh, he's 0 for 80, right? Because that guy, every time he faces the Yankees, he just has the worst at bats ever, and it's 4.
Every time he faces the Yankees and faces CC, he strikes out on 3 pitches.
Wow, this guy's the worst. I think my uncle was over that weekend. He was like, "Man, this guy looks like he doesn't even know what he's doing up here." When they're, it's
that's
it. He's a great fielder, but that's kind of ends there. Guys, we talked about this before. How are we feeling about hey, we're gonna watch the Yankees in London, right? It's gonna be cool. They're gonna be wearing pinstripes both games. gonna be a bit odd.
Gotta wake up a little early
Yeah.
on Sunday because Sunday's game starts at 10 o'clock in the morning.
I'm excited about that. It's
I
better
am
than
too.
8 p.m. games.
Yeah, I love like waking up in the morning and like having whether it's like the World Cup or like you have sporting events in other parts of the country. Sometimes you just get to wake up 10 a.m. and there's a game on. It's a great feeling. And like we said, Sunday's a bullpen day. Yankees are 7-0 in bullpen days this year, so feeling pretty good about that one. Feeling pretty good about both these games, man. Especially to like Tanaka. I have confidence that Tanaka is just gonna nut up and throw like 7 innings of 1-run ball.
Oh yeah.
385.
Especially against the Red Sox. He always seems to suck it up against the Red Sox.
Yeah, like we mentioned, 385 to dead center in this London Park. So
that's pretty good.
Advantage Yankees, I think.
Let's hope.
Are we still there?
Did we lose Luigi?
Looks like he's still on. He's on mute.
Okay.
And we're just gonna have to head and
All right,
edit this out of the feed. So 385 to dead center.
Yeah, 330 to the corners.
Yeah, I mean that's so weird that they don't have like traditional dimension. I mean they don't have many ballparks to begin with.
They did turn a soccer field into a baseball field, so I can understand it, but it's still weird.
Hey, I'm back. I don't know why. That's the second straight episode. My mic just cut out. Look at that.
Well, that's good.
Technology.
Luigi's such a loser. My God.
My God. I heard you guys talking shit about me that whole time, by the way. So I don't think you're enough. But yeah, it's those dimensions. They're a bit weird, but yeah, UK baseball is probably like not even in the top 10 most popular sports in the UK, so it makes sense, right? It'd be cool if there like there's not a lot of British baseball players, but it'd be cool if there was like some sort of just legendary British baseball player that came out, right? They produce good athletes.
Well, I mean, the Yankees do have Zach Britton.
And that would be the show. We'll see you guys. God damn! You know what? That pisses me off. I actually saw that joke today on Twitter.
Oh no! Did you really?
I swear to God.
My once a week dad joke.
Because like he was in the clothes for the game today. It's like, yo, Britain, get us to Britain. And I'm just like, God damn it.
Oh, that's bad. I basically said the same thing. So
man. Yeah. So before I got cut out, I was saying, guys, anything else we got about anything? Why Clint's not being called up, the London series, the Blue Jays being not good at baseball.
Blue Jays are better at baseball than the Red Sox, apparently, if they beat the Red Sox in 2 out of 3.
Man, that's recently for sure. Man, their bullpen's definitely better. I'll say that, even though the Blue Jays bullpen is really bad. Yeah, so I mean, like we said, 2 straight days, no Yankee game, kind of sucks, but hey,
it'll be worth it.
Yeah, and then obviously they have the off day Monday. They're back Tuesday against the Mets. 2 games in Citi Field. Hopefully they win both of them and win the season series because they split Yankee Stadium for that doubleheader. Yeah, Stanton to the IL. Who knows how long he'll be out for? I love Glaber. Not as much as Max, but I love Glaber. That guy's pretty damn good.
Shout out to Max.
Yeah, so that'll be it for this episode. We'll be back after the London series talking about those games. Hopefully we're happy. Hopefully it was good vibes. Jonathan Holder not going to London. Man, his wife or significant other, whoever, is probably so damn mad. Imagine getting sent down, right? Like, oh, we're going to London. I have like all my stuff packed, and like, babe, I let up 2 home runs.
We're going to Pennsylvania.
It's like, pack your bags. We're going to London early. No, we're going to Scranton.
His girl's just like watching the game from home. He goes with that second grand slam. She's like, fuck. It's like, yeah, can't cancel the flight. Can't cancel the damn flight. We're not going anywhere. Oh my God. That must suck. Thoughts and prayers to Jonathan Holder. Well, for Luigi, for Alex, for Andrew. This was the Bronx Bomber Battle Podcast, and we'll see you guys next time.